agriculture is a sector that we all admit needs to be innovated so that we can really develop this country. There's a young man working with our farmers to turn our fruits and nuts into healthy snacks. And today we're going to learn all about his journey. He left Ghana over 20 years ago, worked with multinationals in Canada in the food space. Then he came back. When you talk about brain gain, it does not get any better than this. I'm talking about Bentil Opoku, CEO of Nature's Treasure Foods. If you have any questions for him throughout our conversation, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and the WhatsApp line is 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, you can use the country code +233, and I'll ask the questions for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, snacks. Why
Yes.
snacks?
Snacks, simply because we want to serve people deliciously. The only way, or one of the easiest ways to serve people deliciously is being able to package it in a way that they will forget about the misconceptions about what is healthy. Because in the past, people have this misconception that healthy stuff don't taste good.
Yeah.
So we decided that the best way to package it is to put it in a form of snack that people can be served deliciously.
Now, you're a scientist, a bit.
Yes.
We'll talk about your life.
We'll talk about
Where
that,
did you
yeah.
grow up? What did you do as a child?
I grew up here. I grew up in Tema. I'm from
Okay.
Tema.
You're a Tema boy.
I grew up in Tema, yes. Then went to school a bit at Prempeh College.
Okay.
I'm a strong amount for. And then from there,
What did you study at Prempeh?
science.
Science.
I did,
What did you like about
I
science?
did biology and chemistry. What I like about science? It's because I was able to get, science gives definite positions on things, right? So if it's scientifically proven, then it's definite.
Yeah.
So it's just the ability to have definite in some of the things that I
You didn't
was
find it
used to.
difficult? Most of us find science so difficult.
It is difficult, but I think everything is difficult, but you just have to work at it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. It's more of being determined to do what you want to do.
Okay. Now, how did you end up in Canada?
My parents. So
Okay.
my parents, both my father and mother, lived in Canada. So went to Canada at a very young age.
Okay.
Continued my high school in Canada.
How was that like?
It was
Leaving
the transition. The
Prempeh?
transition at that time was a bit challenging.
Why?
Because young guy coming from Ghana, you get to Canada, they put you through high school, speaking with a strong Ghanaian accent. People are looking at you, the African boy. You understand? So those are the things that you go through.
But how did you handle that? Feeling like I'm a black guy, not only am I a black guy, I'm an African, and even when I participate in class, the students will turn and look, who's
Yes.
that person with that
I
strong
think what
accent?
helped was that I remember my dad always told us that where you are now, you have to be twice better than those that you are competing against. Because if you're as good as them, nobody will recognize you.
Yeah.
So that with that mentality, we decided that we'll work hard at whatever that we do.
Okay.
And when it gets to a place where they know that you are beyond just being black or from Africa, but you come with the
merit,
substance,
yeah.
yes, the merit, then it changes the whole narrative.
Okay. What did you study in uni?
University. So university, I did arts and science. So part of it, I did my political science and economics, and I also did biochemistry.
Why the blend?
Because initially, I was going into a full science program.
Okay.
I was going into an engineering program.
Okay.
I wanted to go into engineering. And along the way, I changed.
Okay.
Because I realized I wanted to become a lawyer.
Why law?
Why law? Because at that time, I thought that being a lawyer, puts you in the position. And also, I think at the time, the reason I wanted to be a lawyer is because I had a passion to help those who have been wrongly accused and stuff like that. For whatever reason, I had a strong passion for that. So I wanted to be a lawyer. And if not necessarily practicing law, but use that to put me in a position where I'll be able to speak for those who are, yes.
Okay. Now, how did you end up in the food scene?
So after university, I got my first job at Nestle Canada. Okay. So Nestle Canada, I did some QA work with coffee. We work with coffee. So we check the finance of the coffee to make sure that it meets the specifications and whatnot. And from Nestle, then I went to Maple Leaf Foods.
Okay.
So Maple Leaf is where everything happened. So I got into Maple Leaf Food a year and a half from Nestle Canada. Okay. When Maple Leaf Food is a huge meat. It's not just meat. Basically, I started from the meat section. So going to Maple Leaf Food, they have the breast section. They have different types of food products that they do over there. So go to Maple Leaf Foods. Then that's where the passion started developing. So it was through Maple Leaf that I learned the systems. You know, Jack Ma from Alibaba says that you go to the big organizations, you learn systems. When the small ones, you learn the passion for the business. So I started with the systems for Maple Leaf. So it is through Maple Leaf that I got into serious training about food processing.
What did you learn that was so different from what you knew in Ghana?
Oh, what I learned that was so different. A lot. And one thing that stood out for me, and I think it was part of the reason that led us into where we are today. One thing that stood out was their understanding of waste and how we convert waste into a finished product and make it useful for people.
So upcycling.
Upcycling, yes. Okay. Conversion of waste, elimination of waste, increasing of productivity, and taking the basic things and adding value to it. So it is all of that Maple Leaf were very critical about what yields are, like what are you gaining from what you put in such a way that we are not throwing away anything. So I learned that, and being a big organization, I took advantage of the training programs, and it enrolled me. They really invested in me, enrolled me in different programs with food, in food technology and
what were some of the programs you participated in, and how did that really expand your perception of where we could go as a country with the basic things we have?
Yeah, so with Maple Leaf, I did a lot in recipe formulation, food processing, recipe development, food safety, food security, and what we call food defense also, which is, all these things have to come together at one point to bring us to a place where we know that we are preserving enough. We are doing adequate preservation in everything that we are doing, that we are not throwing away anything. And food waste management, right? Whereby, you go to some of these places like Agboboshi, the people with the ripe plantains, and they ripe and then they throw it away. And then you look at it and you say a lot could have been done with it. And the good news is that we have the capacity in Ghana to start converting more of those into a finished product. So
connect the dots for me, because here you are, a young man in Canada, seeing people really make good use of waste, and then you're coming from a country where when pear is in season, our farmers can produce so much pear, the market women will just throw a lot away because there's nowhere else to take it. Mangoes, banana, pineapple. What was going through your mind?
So when I decided I wanted to come and do something like this in Ghana, with the team, we came in, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, and what you just mentioned is what we saw, that the post-harvest loss, so that maybe when certain produce are in season, I believe that there are certain seasons that we throw away more produce than what we use as a country. And I think the answer is very simple, is that we are not processing. We are not adding value to our product. We've been stuck at a position where we believe in trading in raw materials rather than conversion of raw materials, or processing of the raw material into some form of finished product. And that is where the challenge is even now. But I think Ghana is in a better position now, because I believe there are more people like myself, and I see a lot of made in Ghana products out there that are very, very impressive, that I think people are now catching on to it. We are not anywhere there yet, but I think we are starting off well.
But what came into mind as you're in Canada, I'm sure enjoying your life, living your best life, to say, I'm going to come to Ghana and tackle this issue? Because Nkrumah talked about it, successive governments have talked about it. We all know that we need to turn our raw materials into finished products, and we need to move up the food value chain.
Yes.
What was the light bulb that made you say, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to solve this problem? Okay,
so from Maple Leaf, I went to work at a place called Taste of Nature. And Taste of Nature, we did a similar thing like this. And looking at and I was in a position where I was able to see a lot of the information with regards to where our products are coming from, our raw materials. And I realized that most of the raw materials were coming from this part of the world, from either from Ghana, from Ivory Coast, South Africa, Nigeria, all the fruits and nuts, cocoa, all of that. So I looked at it and said, and after coming here and seeing the wastage that goes on, post-harvest losses, so then I came to realize, why don't I, come here and let's add value to waste. Let's just add value to waste. So I spoke to my partners from Canada, the team, amazing team, who bought into the vision, gave their full commitment, and we decided, we'll come in, just the little that we can do. And also, we were also sold on the idea that I think the country was in a position to move in that direction with the introduction of the 1D, 1F, which over there, when
you hear it, you really think
it's very encouraging that if the country is heading into that direction, then let's start with it, better than joining it after. So we decided that we'll come in and do the little that we can do. And we are grateful that by God's grace we've been able to come to where we are today.
So let's talk about where you started from, because for me, I know that's a cake, I know could be cake, but to have cocoa, cashew, coconut, so you have your nuts in here, you have some cocoa in here, all sourced locally into this product. And usually when you see packaged products, you think that the ingredients are not healthy because they have like maybe corn syrup, all kinds of flavored ingredients. But yours, it's not the case, So talk to us about the process.
So our product, the goal of the product is to serve health deliciously. And that is our tagline, health served deliciously. You understand? Yeah, so
health served deliciously. Yes. Why health served? Because when people think healthy, they don't think delicious.
And then I think that is the reason. The reason is that when people think healthy, they think it has to be something that is not tasteful or whatever.
Okay, so let me take it to the tests. I'm gonna try
take the
this
test.
one.
Yes, I think we should.
And then you explain health served deliciously.
It will go against the name.
Cashew, coconut.
You realize that when you actually taste, you won't share. Even though the name is called share. But when you taste, you might not share.
Why?
Because it's too delicious to share sometimes.
Okay. So the ingredients, I taste the cocoa.
Yeah, so the ingredients and there's cashew. Yes, real cashew.
There's real coconut.
Everything that goes into our product, these are all natural ingredients. There's no chemicals added. We are not adding any sugar to it. Every ingredient that goes into the product is an ingredient that can be eaten as if they are. And then we combine them and bring them to a desired temperature, and then we mold them
Now, you work out of CSIR.
Yes, we work
Why
at
there?
CSIR, Amazing Resources, Food Research Institute, FRI, you know, and we went there because we wanted to do things very right in this country. And the goal is not only to produce for Ghana, but to be able to showcase made in Ghana goods overseas and be competitive. And to do that, it means that it needs to be done in such a way that we are meeting, you know, certifications and we're meeting all standards. So CSIR, Food Research Institute, we've been able to develop a really, really good relationship with them.
Wow.
And the resources there, you know, are just amazing.
So you tap into the scientists there as well.
We tap into their, you know, really helpful people. And we have become a team. I think it's a relationship we've developed that will go on for the rest of our careers.
So entrepreneurs who are watching us, where do they start from? They see a problem, maybe the agri value chain. How do they uniquely position themselves from your own experience, seeing the problem and finding partners to work together to solve it?
My advice to them would be that once you realize a problem, I think the next stage would be to find a solution to it. And fortunately, we have resources in this country that they can tap into when they don't have the full understanding, when they are not sure whether what they are thinking about is doable or not. And such place will be the Food Research Institute under the CSIR. And they go there, and the people there will give you the ultimate, you know, attention and lead you to where you want to go. And so when we came in and we went there, we partnered with them to start our production. And they've been helpful since in terms of our standardization of our product and making sure that we do things right and helping us go through to FDA, getting our FDA certifications and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're next going to talk about moving Ghana from the position of supplier of raw materials in the global value chain, because there's something the researchers call like the triangle, where the people who make the least are usually at the very bottom, and the people who make the most are at the very top. And you were with the people who made the most at the very top, and you've come back to say, how do I get my country to go from the bottom to be part of those people? We're talking to Bentil Opoku, who's the CEO of Nature's Treasure Foods. He's come to Ghana after working in the food chain for over 16 years in Canada to help us turn our raw materials, dried fruits, nuts, other things, all natural, into healthy snacks so that Ghana can finally say we're sending finished products out of the continent. And even when you go to your store shelves, you can actually buy healthy products. Why were you so passionate about this?
The passion, I think, is derived from the fact that the ingredients could be in abundance. And I didn't say they are in abundance. It could be in abundance in this country. And the reason I say that is because until you start processing, you don't really know how much ingredients you have. You know, but once we start converting raw materials into finished goods, what that also does is that it increases capacity building for these people. If what you're producing, if all the plantains that are coming in, if all the fruits and nuts, the mangoes, the pineapple, the bananas, the coconuts, this one has coconuts in it as well. So the coconut, if the coconuts are not just going to sit there where it is not being used, but we're actually going to convert it into coconut powder, desiccated coconut, and it's going to be added into a snack or any other product, then we realize that even as a country, we need to produce more coconut. Because the moment you convert, you shrink. There's a shrinkage. And because it's being preserved, and these are all dry fruits and nuts with a shelf life of about a year.
Wow.
You understand?
How do you preserve it? Because if you buy coconuts in a day, it'll go bad.
No, the preservation is done by reducing the moisture content of the product. So once we bring the moisture content to a desirable content, then the product can stay for not less than a year for dried fruits and nuts. You understand? So once we're able to convert these raw materials into even a semi-finished goods, we increase the value of the product. And not only do we increase the value of the semi-finished product, we also begin to increase our capacity, because then the demand we realize that it's no longer a matter of 20 baskets, because 20 baskets is only giving us whatever amount of semi-finished product. So we need to go to about 100 baskets.
So what that means is you're now providing a bigger income opportunity for the farmer who would usually throw away the excess fruits if there's no market for it. They now have an outlet.
That is the whole idea. And then that is what is different about what we are trying to do, is that right from the farmer to the person who takes it at home, like you are, eating it, get the full benefit of the whole supply chain is benefited in a way that makes sense, but not, just throwing things away or overproducing and not knowing what to do with it. Because there shouldn't be such thing as overproducing. There shouldn't be such thing as, in season we are throwing away too many things. Such things should not exist. I believe that we have the capacity as a people to convert it to either semi-finished or finished produce. And anytime we add value along the line, we increase capacity at the bottom.
Let's talk about helping us make use of ingredients that we have in abundance, but we don't necessarily have an acquired taste for yet. I found it interesting that one of your products has baobab and moringa, which we have them in abundance, but a lot of us we've not acquired the taste for them.
Yeah. So one of the things that we aspire to do is to bring ingredients that are very familiar to us, like moringa, baobab, tiger nut. People know this name, but when you ask people to drink even moringa tea, people will be a bit hesitant because maybe it might not taste good or not. And now we are in a situation, with COVID and everything, where our health is more important than any other thing. So the way to do that is to be able to formulate it in such a way that it is delicious, that people, even though they are enjoying it with a serving of moringa in it, but because of the addition of the other fruits and nuts, it compensates the taste. And people are able to enjoy it without knowing that they are even enjoying baobab or they are enjoying moringa, even though there will be a pinch of moringa. But because of the combination of the other ingredients, it makes it easier for people to consume.
Why these ingredients? Because when I think of the farmer up north, maybe not having a local market for baobab, and now you guys existing to say, come to us, the impact is. Did you have all these people in mind?
We did, and one thing we also had in mind was not to do what every snack producer is doing, because we truly believe that we have certain unique ingredients to us that will help us compete on the world stage, and that is bringing what is Ghanaian to the rest of the world, so made in Ghana to the world. So that means we have to be able to use certain ingredients that it might be known in some part of the world, but has never been converted or put into a product like this. And that should be our identity as a snack manufacturing company that always uses unique ingredients that are common to people in our region, but wouldn't otherwise consume in their raw state.
Let's talk about your journey as an entrepreneur, coming back to Ghana, quitting your job. What were some of the challenges? Because we always get to see the success stories, we don't see the struggles. How difficult was the transition?
It's been difficult. We are still in it.
What are some of the difficulties?
Some of the difficulties,
yes. People watching who want to come back home and say, I can do it in a week. Come to Ghana, start a business, and have a product.
Yeah, I think for maybe first I will say to people who are not in the country, and they hear that
come back
home and come and do things, bring in, which is all good, but they shouldn't come with the expectation that it is done overnight, because it is not done overnight. Because coming in here, building a team of people who will buy into what we want to do. People have tried it and they gave up. Our suppliers, developing a relationship with all the suppliers so that they can be consistent. Because they produce and people say they will buy it and maybe they never do, they think that is the same. So developing that relationship with our suppliers, and thank God we have really good suppliers who are helping us with our ingredients, and they come already certified and very well positioned to help us also give the product that we are giving to people. And also relationship with personnel. I think that the biggest thing for us, if NTF, Nature's Treasure Foods, the share brand, if it's going to go anywhere, depends on our employees. The relationship we have with our employees. Our employees are our everything.
And they are mostly women. Why?
They are mostly women. I
Why?
think it's also for women empowerment. We are looking at how do we help some of the marginalized in our society. That is the poor farmer in the north, the young woman who is not able to get a job because of a reason or two. How do we focus on those who are somehow marginalized and bring them to a place where they can become confident in themselves and also gain something that will be helpful to their livelihood. And that's what we're doing.
What has been the biggest mistake you've made?
The biggest mistake I've made is thinking that it was going to be easy.
Why? What did you think was going to happen when you packed up your bags and came
I thought that was going to happen overnight. I thought that I was going to come in and bring the idea. Everybody will buy into the idea. It's because it's good for the nation. And that wasn't the case. Just that we have to start from scratch, step by step, all the way.
What experience has humbled you most? Continue, and then you answer this one.
Yeah, so step by step. But I think we've been able to also enjoy some of the resources also of the government. I think it's contributing a lot to, especially the support and advice from agencies like maybe SM Bank, towards their help towards local SMEs and all of that. But other than that, what has been the most humbling experience? I think the most humbling experience has been the fact that when you come here, you have to allow Ghana to teach you how Ghana works.
How? What do you mean?
You have to allow Ghana to teach you how Ghana works.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you cannot come and impose what you think you know on Ghanaians. I think Ghanaians have a way of doing things. So it's a matter of being humble and learning the inroads of how business is done in Ghana. In the sense that suppliers think differently, maybe because of how they've been dealt with in the past. Even employees think differently until you train them and bring them to a place where they can meet your expectations. So it's a matter of hard work and persistence. Hard work and persistence, and you never throw in the towel.
But coming from where you came from, working with global giants in the food space, understanding what it means to upscale materials that we just throw away, like we're literally throwing millions of dollars away each year because we don't know how to preserve these fruits, we don't know how to preserve these ingredients. Is there anything wrong with feeling like we need to work with a bit of urgency to take advantage of this billion-dollar industry that we're still tiny players in?
Yes, definitely. And that is the urgency that should drive you to not give up no matter the resistance you face. Because you face a lot of resistance, even from your own employees, because they don't see it the way you see it. So it's been, our journey has been that not only are we employing people, but also bringing them to a place where they understand what we understand, the vision that we have, what we see that they don't see, that everything that is being thrown away is something that can be converted into something like this, or in a form that can be packaged and be sold to individuals that can keep it into their homes for days, for months, for maybe for years. And also the same thing, it could be something that can also be exportable, that we can send it outside and bring in these foreign revenues that we need so much in this country. So it's a challenge, but I truly believe that as more entrepreneurs, I think the number is going up by the day in Ghana. We get to understand what we have and what it is that can be done to it or with it. They'll begin to see that not only the whole journey becomes interesting, and we are really enjoying what we are doing. We're enjoying it, our employees are enjoying it, our partners are enjoying it.
But how do we get the country to a point where 50% of the snacks on our food shelves in some of our major supermarkets will be made in Ghana snacks, as opposed to walking into a store, seeing a foreign brand with a line that says our cocoa is from Ghana, but the chocolate is not from Ghana? How do we get the country to that point?
Support for local SMEs, resources. I think there should be resources for them. They should have, SMEs should have access to funding, because people want to do it. You look at a package like this, you go to the shops and it is sitting there, and people first are attracted by the package because they don't think that it's from Ghana, until they look at the back and they see that it's made in Ghana. And it's costly to be competitive. So we need resources in the country. Local SMEs needs to be fully supported. And I think also that we have to also create some form of training environments through agencies like Food Research Institute, whereby people will be able to bring what they are thinking, and then they will be able to lead them in a direction that can bring us to a place where we are actually putting a finished product. It doesn't even have to be finished product.
Just find a place in the supply chain.
It can be a semi-finished product. I think as a country we should come to a place where we are not thinking about, we think beyond shipping raw materials, but anything after raw material
is good enough.
It's good enough.
Where do we contact you? Where do we find you? Because we're all going to make sure that Nature's Treasure Foods become that big brand out of Ghana.
So Nature's Treasure Foods, right now we have 3 variants that are available, which is the cocoa, cashew, coconut, this one here. And then we have the superfruit, moringa and ginger, and then the tiger nut baobab. We are in all the supermarkets.
What's your social media handle?
Share Snack Bites.
Share Snack Bites.
Share Snack Bites.
Is there a number to contact you if we want more information?
Yes. The number is 054-823-0579.
Thank you so much, Bentil.
Thank you for having me.
For being with us, for really teaching us what it means to come back home, invest your skills and talents into our development. And I think because of entrepreneurs like you, we can really move from where we've been as suppliers of primary products to the world as bottom, raw material producers, to people who are actually supplying the world with high quality, delicious, finished
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me and for the opportunity that you've given us.
Thank you. And thank you for staying. I hope you've been inspired. There are so many opportunities within the agricultural value chain that you... Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.